Alright guys, you know what? Now it's finally time for our Hello World example, just right before we end this chapter. Okay, we've got a lot of cool challenges and we do some amazing stuff, but this is the last theory part in our Smali chapter. And yeah, by taking a look into an Hello World application, we will realize how much stuff is going on right now and yeah, how many things we need to connect to each other. So before we get into the theory part, let's do it practical and then we analyze it on the slides once again. Okay, this is our code from our last application, Smali 3. Let's simply extend it over here. So we do not do this in the player class, we do this over here, that we have this separated. So we create a new method, Hello World. And within this method, we now simply execute system out println Hello World. Alright, this is our first Hello World application. And let's call this over here. And yeah, let's comment this one out so that we make the code a little bit less complex. Okay, let's build this application. There we go. Locate. We copy paste this into a new directory. Hello World. All right. No, I don't want to update right now. We decompile this app. And now we simply open it once again with Visual Studio Code. So I guess it's still within this one. Com, app hacking, main activity. Yes, there we go. So this is our Hello World method. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on there. I get out my graphic tablet and we discuss this real quick. Okay, so here I'm back on my graphic tablet. Let's see. We've got a virtual method. This means this is a public method. Okay. We've got Hello World. We do not have any parameters and we're returning void. Okay, identifying the prototype has become very easy right now, right? Alright, then we've got two locals. This means two local registers, can be variables, can be placeholders. So here we've got a new instruction, the next one. So this one is clear, but now we are at sGetObject. Let's see. We've got a type reference. The type reference is system, but here we can see interestingly, because this arrow signals we've got some instance method over here. Let's see what sGetObject does. Okay, so here we've got our cheat sheet. Let's read this. sGetObject reads the object reference field identified by the field ID into Vx. So our field ID is the one after the comma. And we are reading the object reference and put this into Vx. Okay, so let's see. So we've got our sGetObject. This is now our field ID. So we are reading the object reference of this field ID and put this into V0. This means our object reference field ID is system.out. Okay, this means we are reading system.out from Java.io print stream into V0. All right, let's write this down. So let's see. V0 is now system.out, and this is from type Java.io print stream. Okay, so system.out. Okay, this is what we do in this line over here. All right, next we have const string v1 hello world. I guess I've got a feeling what this one does, but nevertheless, let's look it up. Maybe there are some traps in there. Puts the reference to a string constant identified by the string ID into Vx. Sounds complex, but it does exactly what we would have assumed. So the string ID is our string and we're putting this into Vx. Okay, so this one is our string ID. And we are putting this into v1. So v1 is now hello world. All right. Next, we've got our invoke virtual, and we are familiar with this right now. So let's see. Invoke virtual. This means the first one is our this object. This one is our parameter, so we should have a parameter in there. Let's see. Parameter, yes, we can see the parameter is from type Java lang string. And we're returning void. And this perfectly fits, because our v1 is having a string, or is referencing to a string. And now we are calling, let's see. So this is our system out. And we are calling, if we add this or change this arrow to a dot, we are calling print line. And we are having a string as a parameter, which is v1. Or in our case, this would be hello world. And this is what this little method does. I mean, you see right now, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. And here, if you would have started with an hello world, I mean, yeah, who should understand this right now? So we got a lot of progress until we reached this point, but now we are able to understand this. This code snippet is really important for us, and I highly recommend you to write this down somewhere, because we will use this a lot within the next couple of challenges. Because we can use this to print out informations on our log console. And for example, here we are printing out v1, which is hello world. But let's assume our v1 is holding a certain important value. Then we simply can just invoke this one over here and this one over here. And we can print out, for example, a password. So we will keep practicing this now a lot. But if you do some analysis on some applications which has some hard routing detection, you cannot circumvent this. You can still use this trick, because adding this piece of code doesn't require root privileges. We are patching the Smali instructions, and even then we are able to fetch all the sensitive information. So let's recap this real quick on the slides, and then I guess we have 3 or 4 really funny challenges until we get back on our SpacePang application. So I see you on the slides. Alright, so this time we are having a different code example, but at the end it's the same. So we are having a local variable, which is text, and we assign this to hello world. And afterwards we use system out print line text, which prints out the hello world over here. This is the decompiled code, or the Smali part. So let's have a look into this once again. Here we can see this is our string that's being initialized. We do this with const-string v0, and then we put the string right after this. We do this because this is a parameter in our function over here, and we have to set it up. So what this line does is it sets up our register, which is being a parameter in our function. Next, we have our system out, and our system out is now contains of these 2 instructions. And if we split them up a little bit, it looks like this. We've got our asget object v1, this one over here, and this reads the object reference field identified by the field ID into vx. So I have taken this from the site, from our Dalvik opcode site, this sentence. So we read the object reference field identified by the field ID. So this is our field ID after the comma, and we are reading the object reference into vx. So we are getting the object reference system.out, and we put this into v1 right now. All right. So this is what this line does. It's simply just system.out, nothing more. And then we've got invoke virtual, which means also take care, those has been now switched. This is not some typo or anything. The first register is our this object. Our this object is system out, and we are calling this dot print line, which means we are calling system.out print line, And then we have our argument, our parameter, which is from type Java lang string, which is v0, which is hello world. All right. Okay, this is our hello world example, and I highly encourage you to practice a little bit, because these two lines, these will be very important. And also this one, yeah, it's not bad if you know how to create strings in Smali. Okay? All right. Okay, that's all for the hello world example right now. I have now prepared some challenges, and yeah, let's do the first one together. We've got some password in there, and let's try to print it out with our system out command. I mean, by reverse engineering this application, we might be able to identify this password anyway. But I also got some harder challenges where you get the benefit of printing out those passwords. So these are regarding to the NDK, or let's say these are regarding to some strange byte values. We will figure out how to deal with this. So for now, let's have a look at the first challenge. Okay, so the challenge will be in the next video so that I can split these two. If you've got some questions, you can of course write me, but you can also get into this video back again to see how this hello world example works. And then you can apply this to the challenge I've prepared for you. So I see you in the next video.